feel the floor shake. Press against the door. I hear your breath, it sounds like lead, heavy in the chest, heavy in the feet, feel the floor shake. Press against the door. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Wait for the end. Floor is cold. You do not stop.
Welcome guys to meet Damien in the live stream. I am Damien, and today we're going to talk about Bitcoin like we normally do. We'll talk about some other cryptocurrencies as well, and we'll try to take a look at the price of oil, see what it's been up to, since that's been a very volatile asset the past couple of weeks here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently trading at $70,479 right now. Kind of giving us a little bit of whiplash, going up and down, up and down, up and down, but not really doing too much here. Just doing a consolidation pattern. We're in a pennant pattern. Some might call this a bull flag here. Okay, but yeah, Bitcoin currently consolidating, and it it could stay in this little consolidation pattern where it makes lower highs here while still making higher lows, and it can do this all the way up until looking like Friday night. Tomorrow night. We won't get some resolution until the end of Friday. And where could Bitcoin go if it's going to consolidate? And I mean, I'll give you guys the upside and the downside targets here. I still think the downside target, if Bitcoin is going to break down out of this flag here to the downside, 67K. And I think, going down to 67K still makes sense because it would still be a higher low, which is going to frustrate the crap out of the bears that have been trying to push the price of Bitcoin down. Because the last significant low that we made, higher low that we made, was at here at like 65K. So it actually makes sense for us to come down to 67K one more time here, make a higher low, and then come back up again. So be on the lookout for that. Bitcoin does decide to break down out of this flag to the downside, that it might not go down too far. It might only go down to 67K here. Okay. But if Bitcoin does decide to go up to higher prices here, I mean, how much higher could it go? We did see last week that we saw Bitcoin at 74K. I'm thinking that's a good area to take some profit if you guys are in profit on Bitcoin, and also probably a good area to maybe enter a short if you're interested in shorting Bitcoin. Okay, but let's see if I measure this out as a bull flag here. You know, where could the bull flag take us to? If we're gonna do this as a typical bull flag, you just take this off, you know, flag pole. This is the flag out of the bull flag. You take the flag pole and you put it over to like where we could break out of Bitcoin to the upside out of this bull pennant bull flag, and it's showing that the upside move could take us up to 76K. That blue number right there. So I think 76K is a area that we could go to next, which would create a higher high than what we did here back here on Wednesday of last week. So maybe 76K is the upside target for Bitcoin. But before I even, agree to that number of being 76K to the upside for Bitcoin, let's do a quick Fibonacci here to figure out what the Fibonacci extension levels might be. If we just do this swing low to swing high here, we got a 1272 that says Bitcoin can get up to like 73K, 73,500. And then we got a 1618 that says Bitcoin can get up to like 75,600. So I think, anywhere between like 73,000 to like 76K should be your upside target for Bitcoin. That's still about like almost like a 10% move up in price from where we are right now. So there's still some money to be made here in Bitcoin if you're trying to long it or take some profit, or maybe you're in, you got losses on Bitcoin, but you're just trying to de-risk and take some money off the table, hopefully at higher prices here for Bitcoin. I think 73 to 76K would be an area that you might want to entertain the idea of taking profit on Bitcoin. And let me see. Let me just catch up in the chat. I see we got a few people joining here on the TikTok. We got Hugo saying patterns don't work, bro. Yeah, maybe they don't. I have seen double tops and double bottoms. They do work for the most part when it's like a double top or a double bottom. As far as like flags go, flags, they don't always work 100% of the time. So I understand why you might be a little bit disenfranchised as to like why you think patterns don't work. But usually patterns, they do work most of the time. Where if it's a bull flag and we're in a bull market, then yeah, it would actually break out to the upside and go up to that bull flag target there. Okay, but yeah, for you to say that they don't work is you're saying that what 100% of the time they don't work. I wouldn't say 100% of the time they don't work, and I wouldn't say 100% of the time they do work. But these are patterns that we see all the time on the charts here. And if you don't like trading using patterns, then you don't have to trade using patterns. It's not the only thing that I use to trade. I just showed you I did a Fibonacci here. And the Fibonacci is saying that there's some targets to the upside that kind of agree with the bull flag measured move that I just did right there. But I get it. If you don't want to use patterns, you don't have to use patterns. There's many ways to trade. Okay? Some traders do moving averages. Some traders do Fibonacci. Some traders do patterns. I know a lot of beginner traders, because they're familiar with patterns and it comes easy to them, they start using patterns first. So, a lot of the beginner traders, they actually do. They're able to spot the patterns here, and it helps them figure out what might come next. Okay. But, all this pattern is it's just a pattern, right? And all it is showing is that Bitcoin is consolidating. That's it, right? We're just consolidating from here to here, right? Where we're still making higher lows while still making lower highs, okay? If anything, all this is showing is that there's going to be some resolution sometime by the end of Friday, okay? Where we're either going to break up or we're going to break down, all right? Get an idea is like whether we can break up or break down. I do look at other indicators here. I got a momentum indicator here, the MACD indicator here, and the MACD indicator usually gives me trend, but you can see right here that because we're consolidating, that we're not really getting a trend here. We're kind of making higher lows here on the MACD. Okay. However, you can say that we're making lower highs here on the buying pressure for Bitcoin. So there is consolidation even on the MACD. The MACD is not really giving us a strong trend here either. Okay. Had I seen selling pressure turning the buying pressure and going in a clear, convincing fashion to the upside, I would say, all right, Bitcoin's probably going to go up to the upside here. Okay. However, the buying pressure, it looks like it's there, right? but it could easily come down and we could turn in selling pressure here soon. Okay, so I think this is just showing that we're the buyers and the sellers, the bulls and the bears, they're still fighting each other. Okay, however, if we zoom out, right, we zoom out like a forward chart here, we're still making higher lows here, frustrating the crap out of the bears. I know some people are trying to be bearish on Bitcoin, but how can you when we still make higher lows, significant higher lows on these higher time frames here? So it's tough to be bearish here on Bitcoin. Okay, I would not be bearish on Bitcoin. It's actually okay to be just neutral. You don't have to be bullish or bearish. We're kind of just in consolidation here for about a month now on Bitcoin. But we are still making higher lows, and every now and then we end up sneaking away with making a higher high here. So if we can get back above 74K, I think the bulls are going to take the ball and run with it. We could go up to that 76K area that I highlighted here. Also, we have some sideways trading here at 78K. I think this is where Bitcoin could go next as well. I've been saying 78K. It's just that recently I did this little bull flag here, and I did that Fibonacci, and it showed me that 76K could be the next target here for Bitcoin. I see we got Jay in the chat. Jay, good to see you, bro. Jay wants to take a look at IREN. I am still sick. I have to grab some tissues. I forgot to grab some tissues here, guys. I promise I won't blow my nose. I won't blow my nose on the live stream. But I do got a runny nose, so give me a second here, guys. I'm gonna just put this on break for a little bit here. Give me like a 1 minute break to go grab some tissue, and I can continue on with this live stream here, guys. Let me see if I can do the be right back here. Just give me a second here, guys. All right, let's see. Back to the scheduled program here. All right, so we got a request for IREN, and we got a request for XRP, I see here. Let me go ahead and start writing these things down. Appreciate you guys coming out with the requests here. So we got to look at IREN and then XRP. And we can always go back and look at Bitcoin again. I do want to take a look at the price of oil because that's been a pretty volatile asset. It's actually doing things here on charts. Let's see what we got here. Noti said, who sold in October? I actually sold some of my Solana in October and November, and then some more in December. And I didn't really sell all my Solana all at once because I didn't want to get hit on taxes. And I sold a good majority of the rest. I sold the rest of my Solana in January. Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, I think we're definitely for sure in a bear market for now. All right, let's see. I think those are the only two requests. Oh, we got Dizel wants to take a look at Tau. All right. Yes, you're naughty. I am a very smart man. I took my profits last year, and it's gonna allow me to go to Costa Rica. I'll be going to Costa Rica for like the next 3 months. I'm gonna try to do some live streams down in Costa Rica. Maybe you might see me do a live stream on the beach, on the mountains near the volcano and stuff like that. It's gonna be some good content coming out in the next 3 months here. It's not just going to be all about the markets, but I will be talking about the markets as well as enjoying myself down in Costa Rica. All right, let's see. We got to take a look at IREN for my buddy Jay. And yeah, I'm pretty much going on like a 3-month sabbatical is what I'll call it. So I'll be traveling the next 3 months here, guys. But I will be doing more video content, more live streams. I'm gonna probably do like a couple of live streams a day. I'll do one during the afternoon and then another one at night. So be on the lookout for those live streams. Beginning in April is when I'll do like 2 a days. Do 2 a days. 2 live streams a day. All right, so we're looking at IREN currently trading at $41.37. What do we got here for IREN? We're on the 4-hour chart. Let me go into the daily time frame. Try to get better ideas like what's going on here. IREN, you look like you had some of your best days here in November of last year. This thing was trading at $76. And then we made a lower high here in January 28th at like 63 bucks here. And I hit the Fibonacci, the 786 Fibonacci number right there. We came right up to it. And that was it. And then now we're just consolidating near the 0.382 at 38 bucks here. Okay. IREN, what are we doing here? Are we actually going to start going up to higher prices, or just make another lower high and then make another lower low at some point here? Let's take a look at the momentum. What is the momentum showing us for a trend here on IREN? IREN is showing that there has been some selling pressure here in February. And I mean, this is a little bit tricky here too, because we're not really getting that much of a trend here either. There's no buying pressure and there's no selling pressure here on the daily time frame. So with me being like, I'm usually a momentum trader and investor. I like looking for momentum, and I like seeing like something like this where the selling pressure is dying down, and I know I can start buying an asset at that area, and then hopefully it turns into buying pressure, and I can just continue riding the trend up higher prices here. Kind of like you saw back here in December, where it turned from selling pressure into buying pressure. But look at this. We're getting the dying off of selling pressure here, but we're not getting any buying pressure here on IREN. So I'm a little bit worried that IREN just doesn't have what it takes to go to higher prices here. That's what I'm concerned about here, okay, by looking at the charts here for IREN. And if we're not going to go to higher prices here on IREN, then where can we go next? Well, we got a 0.236 that says we could come down to $29. Let's see. Did we come down to $29 in December? Not really. We came close to it, but not actually. So maybe we actually do hit this 0.236 to the bottom here. Let me see. Is there any moving averages that could show us that we could get some support? Right now, I'm just trying to stay above the 200-day moving average, this red line here. Okay. But yeah, it's barely holding on to dear life. I think IREN, if it's not going to get any bids here soon, you might break through this 200-day moving average and actually go down to lower prices here. Okay. And where could you get some support? Like I said, $29 is an idea here. But then I also see some previous price action where we're trading sideways at like $17 here. Maybe $17 is where we have to go next for IREN here. So I'd be looking for like $17 and $29 as your downside targets for IREN. Look out below. I can't really get bullish here because there is no, I don't see any momentum to the upside here for IREN. Okay. And let me just take a look at money flow real quick here. There is some money flow. There is green money flow here for IREN. You see there's a little bit of green here. But yeah, you need to see more of it. You need more money flow for us to get some positive price action to the upside here. You did get a green buy down here on Wednesday. What was that yesterday? So that's good to see here. Okay, but right now I would have to be neutral on IREN. I wouldn't be buying or selling it. I would just be holding on to it if I had it. And I don't know, if you want to limit your losses here, put your stop loss below the 200-day moving average or below this last higher low here at 35 bucks. If we lose that, then IREN might actually want to go down to lower prices here. All right. Yanati says geopolitical garbage. And then 999 wants to take a look at DOT. Is that polka dot? Let me go ahead and write that down as another request here. We'll take a look at polka dot. And thank you all for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. Wait, what is what were we talking about there? Oh, you're naughty. Are you talking about there's some good-looking girls down in Costa Rica? Is that what you were saying there? That would be one of the positives of going down to Costa Rica. There are some good-looking people down there. Let's see, gifting suspended. All right. I don't know what TikTok is doing. TikTok is being a pain in the butt right now to me right now. But I do like the fact that we got 40 people in the chat here, so that's good to see. Let me move on from IREM. We're gonna now take a look at XRP. XRP. Let me just move this back up to the rest of these assets here. Okay, there we go. XRP. All right, XRP currently trading at $1.37, and XRP is just being boring. You know, it's even worse than Bitcoin and Iran. It's just literally going flatlining on us here at $1.37. Okay, I think it was at $1.37 yesterday, right? And then $1.37 2 days ago, just flatlining on us, not really doing too much here. Okay, so XRP definitely is in a consolidation pattern here. I want to see XRP get above this 21 EMA, which is suppressing us from going down up to higher prices. You get above this 21 EMA and start using it as support instead of resistance, and then maybe we can jump up to this 50-day moving average at $1.75. That green line right there is sitting at $1.75. I see it. $1.75. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, I think $1.75 makes a lot of sense because you got some candle wick lows here at like $1.77, and then here $1.81. Back here $1.77. So I think $1.75 makes a lot of sense to take some profit here on XRP if we actually do make a run up to higher prices. And I don't think XRP is actually going to start running until Bitcoin actually starts running. So when Bitcoin goes up to like 77K or 80K or higher than that, that's when you'll see XRP probably hit that 50-day moving average. But when it gets to that 50-day moving average, you got to be careful because this 50-day moving average could cause us to get rejected, like it did here. Like we went up to the 50-day moving average in January for XRP. We only stayed above it for like a couple of days, and then we lost it. Okay, and since then, ever since we've been in this bear market in October for crypto, XRP hasn't really been above the 50-day moving average. And the 50-day moving average has been a problem for us to get above. Even the 21 moving average, this white line, has been a problem for us to get above. Okay, so if you guys want to put this in your chart, put the 21 EMA. Right, this white line is the 21 exponential moving average, and then I use the 50-day moving average, the 100-day, and the 200-day moving average. And yeah, this is a bear market, right? When you're below all these moving averages, this asset is in a bear market. It's the opposite when you're in a bull market. When you're in a bull market, like, you know, when XRP was in a bull market in 2024 going into 2025. You know, you saw XRP above all these moving averages, above the 21, the 50, the 100, and the 200. This is a bull market, right? When you're above the moving averages here. Now, look at where we are right now. We're below the moving averages. We're in a bear market here. So, I think the most you can hope for XRP is $1.70, $1.75, and that's it. And then to the downside, you know, if XRP is going to break down further to the downside, we still got the $1.11 level. Hopefully to protect us and give us some support. But if you lose that, it could get really nasty for XRP, where you're going to probably head down to lower prices below $1.11. I got 69 cents here for some reason. You know, we traded sideways there in November of 2024. So why not? You know, 69, such a great number. Has acted as an upside target here back in 2023 and 2024 here. So I think 69 cents is your next target if $1.11 can't hold up. Okay. All right, moving on from XRP, we're gonna take a look at Tau, TAO, and then we'll take a look at Polkadot after that. Oh man, this is like price action all over the place here. Jay, you want to take a look at Poet? Let me go write that down. Poet. Yanani said, what happened to Dogecoin? I don't know. Did it like fall off and, you know, peel over and die on us? Thank you, Yanani, for following me here on TikTok. Oh my god, AG's being funny. He said, don't look at Bitcoin, look at Buttcoin. Oh, yeah, funny. And Little says, what's better, MSTR or STRC? I know MSTR is MicroStrategy. I don't know what STRC is. I'm going to write that down as a request here for STRC. I do not know what STR is. I can't actually answer that question until I actually look it up myself. 999 wants to look at Cardano. All right, we'll probably look at that after STRC. Okay. All right. I think we got a few coins to look at here, and let's look at Tau here. We're now looking at Tau, currently trading at $212. I think we were talking about this yesterday. Wasn't Tau? I could have sworn Tau was at $200 last time I looked at it yesterday. We closed yesterday at 203, and now we're at 212. So we're up like $9 for the day, is what it's saying, up 4.8%. And I was thinking that the 50-day moving average could be a problem here for Tau. Okay, we're getting close to it. It's at 224. We're only like $10 away from it. Be careful when we get up to this 50-day moving average. We might get initially rejected and pushed back down to lower prices again here on Tau. Okay, I would take profit once, you know, Tau gets to 224. Okay, and I only say that because we haven't really been above the 50-day moving average since November of last year. Okay, so for us to get above it, that's actually saying a lot. If we can get above that 50-day moving average. It could be the beginning of something good and special if we do get above that 50-day moving average, but just to be on the safe side, I would take some profit. Because you can always sell here, and then if we do come back down, you could buy back in again at like $180. Right? You sell at 224, buy back in again at 180. Hey, you're selling high and you're buying low. Buy low, sell high. Isn't that the whole point of like trying to make money in these markets, is to buy low, sell high? Okay? You don't have to be sell a little bit here at 224. Maybe you don't want to you know, buy back in again. Maybe you want to just sell here, and then maybe you can sell when we get up to the 100-day moving average, and then the 200-day moving average. 200-day moving average sitting at 287. Be another good area to try to sell some of your Tau. Okay, so I'd be looking at these moving averages as your targets to the upside for now. You can see that we got some sideways trading action going on at 284, and that's right where that 200-day moving average is at. So I would you know, I would try to sell something here at 280 if we actually get up to Tau 280, because you have to think about this for a second. Imagine being the poor soul here that bought in January of 2026 when Tau was at 280, only for this thing to then drop down to like what, 140 on you. That's like a 50% haircut. Ugh. Can you imagine how pissed off this person is right now? That they bought Tau at 280 and now we're only at 213. If we get back up to 280, you have to think about this for a second. The psychology of an investor and a trader. Whoever bought here is probably going to want to sell and break even. So you could come and join them and sell at 280. I think this is going to be a significant resistance area for Tau. Is coming back up to like 280 here. All right, moving on from Tau, we'll take a look at Polkadot, and then we gotta look at Poet. I just want to do a quick sound check, make sure everything sounds good here. Sound check. I guess I can still hear myself. Yeah, Yaus says my EMA is showing something suspicious is coming. Probably. I'm not really too sure about this war going on in the Middle East, because if we have this war in the Middle East affecting the markets, it's probably going to be negative for crypto and stocks. So maybe we are going to see low prices here for crypto and stocks. And you're kind of seeing that on the charts here too. Alright, looking at Polkadot, let's see if we can make a bullish case here for Polkadot. Polkadot's currently trading at $1.50. Obviously had seen better days here back in like September of last year. We saw it at like $4.80. It's been a very brutal bear market for Polkadot. If Polkadot can continue to climb up to higher prices, you do got resistance with the 50-day moving average at $1.75. Then you got the 100-day moving average at $2.10, and then you got the 200 moving average at $2.57. Those are some areas where we could get rejected initially as we try to continue climbing up to higher prices here. I do like the fact that you're above the 21 EMA, and you're kind of using it as support right now, so that's the beginning of something good, and hopefully something special here for Polkadot. But I don't know. We lose it. Like, we did do something good and special here back here in January where we got above the 21 EMA, only for us to then lose it. Are we gonna do something like that again here with Polkadot? I don't know. But you can kind of game plan your Polkadot long here, right? Where you can put your stop loss. Probably I put the stop loss below the lowest low here at $1.42 if you want to keep it really tight, or just put it below the low of this this fair value gap here, right? At $1.23. If we lose all this positive price action that we did and we lose $1.23, then there's something wrong with Polkadot, and you probably don't want to stick around to find out what's wrong with it. So I would put the stop loss at $1.23, and if you get stopped out, you get stopped out, right? You're protecting yourself from losing more money here on this asset. Is Polkadot doing anything good here with the RSI? Let's see what the RSI is doing here. Hope you're able to see that. I don't know if you guys are able to see this RSI here. I'm going to try to adjust this here, but like, I got this red line here as the RSI. You are making higher lows here on the RSI, so that's good to see. You can see that we had a little bit of a bullish divergence. Let me see if I can draw that out here. Where you were making lower lows here on Polkadot. However, you were making higher lows here on the RSI. I don't know if you can see that. Let me just redraw this here. There you go. So you kind of had like a little bit of bullish divergence going on here where buyers were stepping up to the plate and they liked the prices of Polkadot being at like $1 here. Okay. So this is the beginning of trying to bottoming out here. Maybe Polkadot is going to go up to higher prices here. I say maybe. We don't know. We got to continue doing what we're doing right now. We need to continue making higher lows here and try to make higher highs. The last high that we have to beat is we got to get above $2.34 here. Get above that level. And now you're making the case where you're making higher lows and higher highs, and you're in an uptrend instead of a downtrend here. But we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Right now, I would expect, you know, just being realistic with you guys, I would expect $1.75 to be the high mark here for Polkadot, and then we might roll over and come down to lower prices here. Okay, prepare yourself for that. Okay, plan on taking some profits at $1.75, and then plan on taking more profit when you get up to this 100-day moving average at $2.10. All right, moving on from Polkadot, we'll take a look at Poet. Poet USD. Oh wait, no, that's a stock, right? Yeah, Poet Technologies on the NASDAQ. All right, so we got Poet currently trading at $7.44. Got some previous chart work here to work with. I did a Fibonacci from $4.69 all the way up to $9.42. I think I measured, what did I measure from? Actually, I really don't know where I took this from. Was it from this low? Yeah, it was like from this low. So I measured from this low to the high that we did here in October of last year. And it gave me this Fibonacci to work with. And I think this Fibonacci is still useful here. Looks like Poet is at the 618, or close to the 618 at $7.61. That's going to be, you know, probably a resistance here because you're below it right now. But if you get pushed past that, then we're going to see if we can try to make our way up to $8.41. That 786 retracement. Did we do that? We got up to like 827. We got up to 827 earlier today. So we kind of almost made it to the 786 here. So maybe I don't know. Maybe maybe I have to redraw the fizz. Maybe someone else saw something different here. Maybe we actually did hit the 786 retracement. But I see that we got probably almost a clear rejection off the 786 retracement. We're coming right back down to the 618. And if we continue to go further down, right? I mean, there are other levels to look for here. But at least you know that you got the 50-day moving average, this green line, providing support at 631. I would expect 631 to be a support area for Poet. So let's see if that holds up in the near future here. If we're actually going to stay above that $6.31 area. And let's see, what is the momentum? Do we got any? Do we have any clarity here with the momentum? The momentum on the MACD indicator here, selling pressure turning to buying pressure. Buying pressure is here. Buying pressure was starting to die off here last week, but then it started increasing again here on Wednesday. And yeah, I think you're still good to go up to higher prices here on Poet. So I think Poet does want to climb up to higher prices. Let's see if the money flow is agreeing with that. Money flow is showing that it's in the negative, but it's becoming less negative. Okay? Where the money flow is curving up. If you keep on doing that, you're eventually going to get money flow in the green like you saw back here in January. Okay. Also, good thing to see here, you got a green buy dot that came in on Tuesday. So I think Poet wants to continue climbing up a little bit higher than where it is right now. Maybe we might see $8 again here for Poet. And who knows, maybe we might actually see $9 for Poet. But I would still try to stay in the long here and try to take profit at 841 and then take some profit at 942 if we ever get back up to that level again. Volume. Okay, I was wondering if Yanati was complaining about the volume. We did have an issue the other day here. Let me just double check. Is my sound here good? Are you just talking about volume with the charts here? I don't have a volume indicator here. Sometimes I do trade looking at volume, but right now I don't really look at. I'm not looking at volume. I don't really look at volume too much. Although it is helpful to know if we're making a trade, if we're actually climbing up to higher prices and the volume is low, that could signify that the move is not that strong, and we might actually be making a lower high here. Let me just see if I can pull up volume here real quick here on the indicators. Volume. Alright, so I just pulled the volume indicator here. You can see the volume, the red, green, red, green, red, green, but... Oh, we actually had a pretty high volume here on this candle for today. Is that what you were referring to? That we had a pretty high volume day today? Because that's what it's showing here on Poet, that we had high volume here. It's a shame that it's a red candle here, but I think if we get it, you know, tomorrow, if we get the same kind of volume, but it's a green day, that's going to signify that there's some strength in this move to the upside, and we might actually, you know, possibly make a double top at some point where we get back up to like $9, like we saw back here in January of earlier this year. And who knows? Maybe we actually get up to 942 like we saw back here in October of last year. So we shall see, but I think volume is fine for now for Poet. All right, moving on from Poet, let's take a look at STRC. I never heard of this asset, but someone was asking me like, which is better, STRC or MicroStrategy? So Strategy Incorporated Variables Series A Perpetuals. Preferred stock. Okay, so this is preferred stock in MicroStrategy. Currently trading at $100. It looks like it started trading back here in July of last year. This is a very hard to read stock here. I'm not sure what to make of this. It seems like $100 seems to be about as high as you can get here on this particular stock here. If it's a preferred stock, it's a little bit better than having regular stock. Preferred stock, I believe there should be a dividend attached to it, right? That's one of the reasons why it's a preferred stock. So if it's a preferred stock and it's paying you dividends, I would hold on to it. It's probably a little bit better than having MicroStrategy, the actual stock. Because let's look at MicroStrategy real quick here. MicroStrategy or Strategy, they renamed themselves to just Strategy. I don't think they want to be Micro anymore. But I mean, look at MicroStrategy, or I should say Strategy. Look at Strategy stock over the past year. When Bitcoin was doing all right in 2024, you saw a Strategy as high as like 500 bucks here. But since then, it's been making lower highs, and this thing looks kind of like an old coin, and it looks a lot worse than the Bitcoin stock, the Bitcoin chart. The problem with owning MicroStrategy stock is that there's like a lid on it. You can't actually see this thing go higher, because if the price of Bitcoin goes higher, then what does MicroStrategy do? He sells the MicroStrategy stock to go buy some more Bitcoin. So every time, like, you know, Bitcoin goes up to higher prices, yeah, that causes the MicroStrategy stock to actually go up to higher prices. But then it gets, you know, it gets knocked down to lower prices every time they sell their stock to go buy some more Bitcoin. So I don't know. Why not just buy Bitcoin? You know, Michael Saylor, he's doing what he needs to do to make sure that he stays rich. But I think if you're trying to become wealthy, like Michael Saylor one day, then just buy Bitcoin. Don't buy the MicroStrategy stock. Just buy Bitcoin, because that's what he's doing. He's buying Bitcoin. He's selling his stock to buy Bitcoin. So why don't you just buy Bitcoin? And I don't think this is a good. You know, if you're only invested in the stock market, and you don't know how to buy crypto, and you don't know how to go on a cryptocurrency exchange to buy crypto. I don't think this is a good vehicle, a good, you know, proxy to buy Bitcoin. If you're not capable of buying you know, Bitcoin on a cryptocurrency exchange, and you still want to just use your stockbroker, I would just say buy the Bitcoin ETF, like iBit, right? Because there you're actually buying Bitcoin. You're still buying an ETF, but this thing, you know, iShares Bitcoin Trust, it tracks the price of Bitcoin pretty well. Okay, and yeah, you know, we've seen iBit at the highest level when Bitcoin was at the highest level here in October of last year. We saw this thing trading as high as like $71. Okay, now you're currently trading at $39. But I think that's like the same move that Bitcoin made, right? Let's see. iBit from $71 down to like where it is at 39 bucks. That's a 44% decrease in price. I think that's exactly what Bitcoin did. We're down 44% on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick here. Bitcoin currently trading 70,246. Okay. We saw Bitcoin as high as 126 grand in October of last year. And we're just measuring this out real quick. Yeah, 44%. So, you know, Bitcoin's down 44%, and so is iBit. If you want to buy Bitcoin without actually buying Bitcoin, then I would just buy iBit, okay? The Bitcoin ETF, because that tracks the price of Bitcoin pretty well. Yanani says Dogecoin was 70 cents. What happened with Dogecoin? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Dogecoin I think was at 70 cents back in 2021 when Elon Musk went on Saturday Night Live, and everybody thought Dogecoin was going to go to $1. What is Dogecoin at right now? Let's see if I can find my watch list. Dogecoin's only at 9 cents. Yikes. Yeah, Dogecoin currently trading at almost 9.5 cents right now. All right, moving on from iBit and strategy, we're gonna now look at Cardano as another request here. I could have sworn I had Cardano in my watch list. Cardano. Hey, where's Cardano? Did I lose it? No, it's right down here. Okay. Cardano currently trading at 26 cents. I think we talked about Cardano yesterday. And I think it's going to be the same analysis as yesterday. Cardano needs to get above this 21 EMA. That white line at 26 cents. We're at 26 cents. But like 0.269 pennies to be exact. So we're almost above this 21 EMA. The next level above us, we can get up to this 50-day moving average at 33 cents. I think that's going to be a problem for Cardano. If we ever get up to there, we might initially get rejected, come down, right? We might actually do something like this, where, you know, we kind of creep our way up to higher prices here, get knocked down from the 50-day moving average, maybe make a higher low, and then climb up to higher prices from there. If we can do something like that, where we're making, you know, a higher high, higher low, and then another higher high, then you know you're making an uptrend, and you got yourself, you know, possibly the beginning of a bull market here for Cardano, but we haven't seen that yet. So this is just an idea. But for now, you know, I think, you know, Cardano could get rejected off this 50-day moving average, and that could end up being a lower high, and then we can end up making lower lows here. So you just never know. You just never know. Okay, we have somewhat of an idea by looking at the charts and doing technical analysis here, but I would try to take some profit here on Cardano when it does get up to like 33, 34 cents. I'm not going to tell you how much profit to take. You got to figure that out for yourself, you know. But I would sell something, not financial advice, but I would sell something at 33, 34 cents if you ever get up to that price there. And then just zooming out, how much lower could Cardano go? I'm going to zoom out to the monthly chart here. Oh my god. Damn, Cardano. Whew. Man, let's see. Cardano got down as low as like 23 cents here in June of 2023. I mean, Cardano's like almost as low as what you could have bought it at for like 3 years ago. Yikes. I don't know. I think you're better off being in Bitcoin, to be honest with you. Right? This is what Cardano's chart looks like over the last few years. Just weak and pathetic. I'm going to call it what it is. This is weak and pathetic. Right? And let's look at Bitcoin on the monthly chart here. That's Bitcoin going up and to the right. Who do you think was making money? Cardano or Bitcoin investors? I'll answer that for you. Bitcoin investors have been making money. Cardano investors have been struggling. So I would just stick to being in Bitcoin, to be honest with you. All right. Let's see. Yanati says people are scared. Yeah, they might be scared right now because we're in a bear market on crypto. Let's see. Thank you, Thomas, for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. I kind of want to take a look at the price of oil now, because I know that oil has been a pretty volatile asset over the last couple of weeks here. As we all know why. You know, we got some conflict in the Middle East right now. But I'm on the monthly time frame here for oil. I'll go into the smaller time frames, but looking at the monthly time frame, you can see I drew a Fibonacci. You know, we saw oil as low as $55 back in January. So I drew the Fibonacci from $55 all the way up to the high here when oil got up to like $119. What was that, last week, I think? Was it like this Sunday? I can't really remember, but it was like, yeah, I think it was this Sunday. We saw oil go up to like $119. And right now, levels to be looking for on oil is right now we're currently playing around with the 0.618 and the 0.65 at $94 and $97. I think $97 was the high that we got for today. Yeah, $97.23. We're struggling with the 6561 golden pocket here. Let's go into the daily time frame now. And yeah, these are levels to be looking out for oil. $97. Going to be a problem until it's no longer a problem. And then to the next target to the upside is going to be the 786 at $105. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we did that. Yeah, it was this Monday or yeah, Sunday night. We actually went up to $119 here on oil. I think oil's, yeah, we came down hard and fast, but I think we're on our way up back up to $119 here on oil. I am trading some oil futures here on MEXC and Coinbase. If you guys want to trade oil, go ahead and come check out the Meet Damien TikTok channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure you follow me here on TikTok and click on this link here, the link tree. You click on that link and you'll be able to see my link tree. And here's the links where you can trade oil. You can trade oil on MEXC Exchange. And you can also trade oil here on Coinbase Exchange. If you click on any one of these two links here, you can start trading oil if that's what you want to do here. Coinbase might take a while to you know, you're gonna have to prove to them that you have the money to trade futures, and you have to, you know, you have to wait for approval on that. MEXC, you could probably start trading oil right now on MEXC, but I know for my American guys and Canadian customers, Canadian guys here, it's going to be tougher to trade on MEXC Exchange unless you're using a VPN. Okay, so if you use a VPN, you can get around some of their KYC requirements. Okay, but if you want to do it, you know, legit, you can actually get a digital resident card with the Polyalo digital residency card, and you can get KYC with MEXC, so you can start trading on that exchange. But you know, I think a lot of people they can just get a VPN for like $4 a month, and you can change your address to, like, you know, that your IP address is over in, like, I don't know, you can probably put that you're in Costa Rica or, you know, Venezuela or somewhere else, and you can start trading on MEXC that way. So if you trade on MEXC, you can actually trade oil. Let's see, this is what it looks like here on MEXC. You can trade oil right now. It's currently trading at $95.18 here, and I believe I am at a log here on MEXC on oil. I took most of my profits here, but you can see that I'm still up 82% on this position here. And I've been trading oil on MEXC and Coinbase. So if you want to start trading on MEXC and Coinbase, go over to that link tree, the Meet Damien link tree, and you got the links here. Trade on MEXC or Coinbase. I also got other links here. There's WEEX cryptocurrency exchange, and then there's also Kraken as well. You can check out those links there. And then also, you know, for my TikTok guys, you can check me out on YouTube. I have a Meet Damien YouTube. And for my YouTube guys, I do have a Meet Damien TikTok, so you can check me out on both platforms there. I also got a Twitter, Instagram, and a Facebook. All those links are right there on the Meet Damien link tree. For my YouTube guys, you can find that link should be in the description to the YouTube channel. You got the link tree right there. Okay, so you can get started on whatever it is you want to do in the Meet Damien community here. Alright. Chiama says, can we buy Ethereum? Mario, I wouldn't say you could avoid taxes using a VPN. You still gotta pay taxes and follow the rules in whatever country or jurisdiction you're in. Like, alright, so you can trade on MEXC, right? And you can still do a gains and loss statement, and you just gotta show that to the IRS. The IRS doesn't care how you make your money, but if you are making money, you got to report those gains to the IRS. Because if they find out, you'll get in trouble. Okay. But you know, MEXC is not going to report to the IRS, so I don't know. Some people might not say anything because MEXC doesn't say anything. But the thing is, if somebody knows that you're trading, you know, foreign investments on foreign exchanges, they can report you to the IRS, and I think they'll get whatever money that the IRS was gonna collect off of you goes to whoever snitches on you. So be careful with that too. You know, make sure you report it to the IRS. Even if you don't think you gotta report, just report. Okay? I don't want you to get yourself in trouble. And then you have to think for a second. If you're doing pretty well out there and you got some haters, your haters might snitch on you. Just saying. You gotta watch out for that too. All right. So oil. Back to looking at oil. And then we'll take a look at Ethereum. Oil to the upside. I think we could probably head up to $105 here for oil. Yeah, maybe go sideways there. Although I wouldn't be surprised if we go sideways right here at $96, $97. We could probably go sideways going into tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we get liftoff and go up to $105 before the weekend starts. Downside, if we get rejected off of 94, we could come back and retest $87 here on oil. $87 is a level to be looking out for. If you just look left, if I zoom out, you can see that we actually hit $87 back here in April 2024. So that is a support and resistance area to be looking out for. However, it is also a Fibonacci level to be looking out for at 0.5 retracement, $87 here. Okay. All right, moving on from oil, we gotta take a look at Ethereum because we got a request for Ethereum. And what was the question? It was Chiama says, can we buy Ethereum? Was that a question as can you buy Ethereum on MEXC, or were you just asking me is now the time to buy Ethereum? Because you could buy Ethereum on MEXC, Coinbase. You can buy Ethereum on WEEX, all those cryptocurrency exchanges. But if you're asking me, like, should we buy Ethereum now? It all depends on if Bitcoin's going to climb up to, like, 80K or higher. You know, Bitcoin just struggling and consolidating near 70K right now. But, you know, a lot of these cryptocurrencies, they're just going trading sideways. We've just been consolidating. You know, so one might say this is a bear flag, okay? It could be a bear flag. However, the thing about this is that we are frustrating the crap out of the bears right now because we're still making higher lows on the daily time frame. Even on like the 1 hour and 4 hour time frame. Let me look at the 1 hour time frame real quick here. You're still making like higher lows here on the 1 hour time frame for Ethereum, just frustrating the crap out of the bears. Okay, I would not be bearish on Ethereum until we get to the highs of like $2,200 here. Then I would probably like maybe look for a short on Ethereum. So I think you could buy Ethereum right now. And where would you put your stop loss? You probably put your stop loss right at like 1911 here. If you're not trading with leverage, okay, I would put the stop loss right at 1911. Because if we lose 1911, then maybe, you know, Ethereum is going to break down to lower prices. And maybe we do come down to 1800. Like we saw back here in the end of February, February 24th here. And if $1,800 doesn't hold up here for Ethereum, then we're maybe going to probably head down to 1650. Because if I zoom out, right, if I go into like the weekly chart here, okay, 1650 is where we were trading at back here in April 2025. And it's also where we're trading at back here in September of 2023. So I think those are your support zones for Ethereum. Okay, those would be better zones than be buying Ethereum. If you're in this for the long term and you're trying to dollar cost average, I would still try to buy some Ethereum at 1800, buy some more at 1650, and then I even marked down 1212 here because that was an area that Ethereum was trading at back here in like November of 2022. You'd be lucky enough if you buy Ethereum at $1,200 here. Because we didn't stay down at $1,200 for too long. We stayed there for like maybe a week or two. Actually, no, I take that back. We stayed down there for about a couple of months here, actually. But yeah, I mean, that is a good area to be buying Ethereum. 1,200 bucks here. All right. We did some I think we had a pretty good live stream. We did a good few requests here. I'd see we just got a request here from Shikai asking for gold. I'll take a look at gold, and then I'm gonna take a look at Bitcoin, and then that's gonna be it for this live stream. Let me just check my YouTube, guys. Make sure you guys are doing all right. Okay. I don't see any requests there from YouTube. So yeah, so let's take a look at the price of gold, and then we'll take a look at Bitcoin on the way out, and then that's gonna be it for this live stream, guys. And then I gotta go take a nap here. I got the man flu. I've been struggling with that for like the past this past week here, and I don't think I'm gonna be doing a live stream tomorrow. I'll probably go live again on Monday, same time, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time, unless something changes. All right, so let's see. We're gonna look at the gold. Gold is currently trading at $5,080 here, down 1.8%. And I'm just going to hide this for now. Actually, I'm just going to delete this for now. But you can see that gold is actually very bullish, still above the 200, 150, and above the 21 EMA. That is a very bullish asset. Okay, and I think gold might be on its way up to testing the all-time highs again here. All right, but I don't know if we're actually going to do that, because do we have the momentum to do that? Do we have the buying pressure to go up to all-time highs of 5,000, what, 5,598? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the MACD. MACD is showing that there's still selling pressure here on gold. Okay, we have to see some buying pressure here to get us up to higher prices. We're not seeing the buying pressure that we saw back here in January when we were, you know, on a roll to higher prices here. Right now, the MACD is showing that the blue line is trending downward and the orange line is trending downward. So maybe, yeah, maybe, funny enough, crazy enough to believe, maybe gold might not be going up to all-time highs. Maybe we might actually be going to lower prices here. And if that's the case, then maybe this is a lower high compared to what we saw here, and we might go down to lower prices of like 4,500. I think the next target to the downside for gold is this red number here, 4,550. Someone's dog is barking in the background right now. But yeah, we also got the 50-day moving average, this green line at 4,500. So I think 4,500 is your target to the downside for gold. If we're going to just go down the lower prices here, I'd be interested in buying gold at 4,550 here. Let's see. Alex Angel says it will drop like a nuke. What are we talking about? You talking about gold? Alex says, let's go, 4,400. Guys, I appreciate you guys all coming out to this live stream. I definitely appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you guys for smashing that like button. Appreciate you guys sharing the live stream. You know, all those things that you guys do helps this channel grow, and I appreciate you guys for doing that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the price of Bitcoin. Is currently trading at $70,350, and we're still consolidating. Still consolidating here on Bitcoin. I did draw like a possible pennant here. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. This is like my day trading time frame that I like to start off with, figure out where the price might go next in the next 12 to 24 hours. And we can see that we're consolidating here on Bitcoin, creating lower highs here while also making higher lows, frustrating the crap out of the bulls, and also frustrating the crap out of the bears. If you know how to play the pennant here, you can still, you know, sell high, buy low, and then sell high again and buy low until we get some resolution. Looks like the resolution is not going to come until the end of Friday, the end of tomorrow. Okay, so maybe we might get a breakout to the upside out of Bitcoin. And if we do, I'm expecting the breakout to be something like this, where you just take this measured move here, this flagpole, and if we continue to just do what we did, the last couple of days here, we could see Bitcoin hit up to like that blue number, 76K, which would be a higher high than what we saw here Wednesday of last week. So that would be a good thing to see here with Bitcoin. Do we got the momentum to do that? As of now, on the MACD indicator here, do we got a trend? It's not the best, but there is some buying pressure here, right? Showing up here. As long as we don't get selling pressure here, you will see Bitcoin climb up to higher prices. But you can see that we had selling pressure, buying pressure, selling pressure, buying pressure over the last couple of days here. And that's part of the consolidation pattern that we're creating here with Bitcoin. And then here on the money flow is still negative on the 1 hour time frame, but you did get a green buy down, so that's good to see here. I think Bitcoin does want to creep up to higher prices later on tonight. Let's look at a higher time frame. Let's look at maybe the 4 hour time frame. Maybe I might get something good here. So on the 4 hour time frame, money flow is curving up, and if it continues doing this, you'll see green money flow. And yeah, I think we might see Bitcoin go up to 73, 74K here. But the MACD is just, that's weak. We need more buying pressure. We need more buying pressure. And then you'll definitely see higher prices here for Bitcoin. But yeah, Bitcoin, we could be consolidating here up until even tomorrow, same time tomorrow. We could still be consolidating between 69 and 70, 71K is where we're playing around. And if we break down to the downside, I think we will get support at 67K here, which will still be a higher low than what we did here at 65K on Sunday. So that would still frustrate the hell out of the bears if we just make another higher low and continue to go up to higher prices. So Bitcoin is still consolidating. We're not getting any resolution until I think sometime by the end of tomorrow, going into this weekend, is when you'll probably see a big move on Bitcoin. Edible Zombies in the chat. Edible Zombies, you kind of came in towards the end of the live stream, but I appreciate you coming in. What is you saying here? 4,000 XRP, $1.22. You're in it for the long term. I wish you the best of luck with XRP. I know XRP has been like sideways and boring, but I think the upside target for XRP is like $1.75 last time I took a look at it. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys coming to the live stream. Appreciate you smashing the like button. Appreciate you guys following me. Don't forget to follow and subscribe if you haven't done so. Let's plan on doing the live stream on Monday around the same time, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time is when you can normally find me on these live streams. And until then, I wish you guys the best of luck in trading and investing in whatever asset you decide to get into. And let's listen to some music on the way out. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend. I'm not going to go live on Friday, but I plan on trying to do a live stream again on Monday, okay? I'll see you guys then. Take care.